if you're not walking every day, you are really missing out on a way to de-stress, calm your nervous system, enjoy the outdoors, just relax. I stopped using walks as like getting my steps in, because then it felt like a chore. And I just thought, I'm just going to do it for enjoyment. And as soon as I kind of switched over and I don't wear a watch where it's like tracking my steps or anything, then I really just found so much joy and peace. And it's such a game changer. And especially after you eat, it's really good for your digestive tract. If you could walk, do a 10 to 15 minute walk after a heavy meal, especially after dinner. It's going to help you digest your food before you go to bed. It's going to help you de-bloat. These are like simple, basic things that can make such a difference. And it's the things that you do day in and day out over time, every single day. Or, you can even measure it by a week. So you're not like, oh, I didn't get my walk in, and you don't want to feel all beat up and guilty because you didn't get your walk in that day. But measure it between 7 days and try to get 4 to 5 just days where you're getting some type of movement in. And if you can crank it up to like at least 2 to 3 days to get some type of heavier fitness in, like weight training or something, then that would really, really, really make a difference. So these are just shifts. You just have to be really intentional with making these shifts, with not getting stuck in like, oh, I'm going to just binge watch Netflix, or I'm going to scroll for an hour, because that 1 hour you can never get back. You could be investing that 1 hour into something that your future self is going to thank you for. So you're just sowing seeds for your future, and you are calming your nervous system. You're calming your mind, and you'll feel better. Your skin will look better. You'll feel more fresh. So walking is like the number one thing I tell people if they're starting with their fitness. Just get basic things down first. You don't have to go all like super crazy. Just get some basic things down first, like walking, drinking not just water, but in the morning, if you could do warm lemon water or lukewarm lemon water before anything else. Also, not having your caffeine before protein. Try to have some protein with your breakfast. I know I might sound like I'm overcomplicating it, but these are just little shifts that will make a huge difference. Remember that the little things always add up to be bigger things. The little things day in and day out that you do is what shows. So you are wearing, like, the discipline shows in your body. The knowledge shows in your words. The clarity shows in how you speak. The peace shows in your lifestyle. So you always have to start with that end. You can justify it any way you want and say, oh no, I don't do this, I don't do that. But the results always tell the truth of how you live your life day in and day out. And so if there's an area that it's not pleasing to you, or that you don't really like, it's pretty up tonight, that you don't really like, or it's just not serving you anymore, or you feel like you can do better in, pick one of those areas. Food is a big one. Food is huge, because we all have like sweet tooths, and we all, and I'm not saying like don't ever enjoy anything, but if you can get some things under control, like let's say you eat out once a week, stop that and say, I'm only going to eat out once a month, and practice some self-discipline, and then you will enjoy that eating out. It'll be a reward for you. Not only will you save money, but you will feel better. Your body will respond better. You're not going to have all these seed oils and toxins going in. So these are simple changes that you can make. Another simple change that you can make is not heading to the thrift store just because you're bored. People do so many things because they're bored. Thrifting because they're bored for the thrill. But what are you doing? You're buying stuff you don't need, unless you're using it for a business or something. But most of the time, you're just buying stuff you don't need. You're wasting time. You're grabbing a high-calorie coffee and maybe some Chick-fil-A or something while you're out, because now you're hungry from the shopping. Then you get home and you got to figure out where to put all this junk that you don't need. Like, you're giving yourself those types of results that you don't want. So be really intentional and say, I'm not going to go to the thrift store every week. I'm not going to eat out once a week like I normally do. Instead, I'm going to do this. And sometimes there's nobody there motivating you. You have to motivate yourself. Like, you have to become so disgusted with where you're at that you want something better for yourself. Like, that you want to live. Don't give up on life. I don't care if you're 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. Don't give up on life. There is a race for you to run. It could be a long race or a short race, but it's full of so many beautiful things when we snap out of the things that are distracting us. And when we get things under control, we can enjoy things better. Like my kids notice too, like when we used to eat out all the time, like all the time. We probably spent, this is when we were just more self-indulgent. We didn't really, I was spending a lot. My husband ate, he loves food, so it was like eating out all the time. And so we probably spent maybe $1,000 a month just eating out for a family of 5, 800 to 1,000. Now, this was a few years ago, so we don't eat out like that anymore. But it wasn't exciting anymore. The food, we were just damaging ourselves. It's like gluttony is what it is. Oh, this is so good. You're not counting calories. You're not mindful of what you're eating. It's so good. You don't want to waste it because you bought it, so you're overeating. You're not stopping when you're full because it doesn't taste that good reheated or whatever. You don't want to bring it home or whatever the case is. And my son just made a comment yesterday and said, because we got donuts for his birthday and we haven't had them in like a year. He's like, wow, these are so good, because it was a special treat for him. It wasn't something that we do all the time anymore. So it became a treat. Yeah, indulge. You better believe I had 3 donuts. I was like, this is a treat. I'm going to indulge. I'm going to enjoy it. He was so excited for us to try these new, things. And then we all worked out. We walked. We all had to burn it. But it's not done all the time. So it is those things. It's not the things that you do once in a while. You want a big old fat greasy burger or hot dog or whatever. Once in a while, sure, it's fun. But it's the things that you do every day. The 1 can of Coke that you drink every day. The energy drinks every single day. And that was something that I enjoy, having a little bit of energy sometimes, because I don't drink coffee. But you have to watch that you don't become addicted to those things, because then your body just craves it all the time. So it's really just being mindful about what you're doing and what you're eating, what you're consuming, your time, and all getting all of that stuff in order as much as you can, but simplifying. Because when you simplify, it's not complicated. Like all of it, when I first changed our diet, I thought, oh, this is so overly complicated. I felt like I can't do this. I can't track calories. Like, not eat this. Like, it was so, I was overcomplicating it. And it was actually quite simple. It was so simple that I cut our grocery bill like in half. It made me feel better. I had so much more clarity. My skin cleared up. My kids' skin had cleared up. We overcomplicate it. So when you get back to the simple things and you cut out, it's like you're pruning your life. You're decluttering. You're cutting out the fat. When you cut out the fat, and what's left is the things that you love. For example, if you're entertaining the wrong relationships and you stop doing that, what happens? You have more time for the right relationships and the right friendships and the people that actually nourish your soul, and you sharpen them. So there's a difference there. So when you cut out the things that are no longer serving, the food that's no longer, helping you grow, the books that are not leading you in the right direction, the music that's making you feel depressed and sad or put you in a different season in life, the old shopping habits that are making you feel anxious and have anxiety, like all of these things, when you cut out the things that aren't serving, you're left with the things that you actually love. You're like, wow, I actually do have time to relax in this area, or I do have time to spend with my spouse, or I do have time for those things that I really love doing. I have time to learn how to cook something or bake something or do a new meal, or I have time to exercise. And you may even have money now to hire a trainer to exercise because you're not blowing it at Goodwill. So it's shifting what you're investing and what you're spending and what you're doing and how you're living, so you can simplify your life but elevate it. You're simplifying as you're elevating. And the elevation is just a natural response to the simplifying, because you realize these are things that I don't want anymore. These are things that I don't crave anymore. I don't care about that anymore. When I used to go to Target, like the day after Christmas, I had to get 50% off. I would fill like 2 carts because it was so cheap. I'm like, 50% off? I don't know if they still do that, but I haven't done it in probably about 5 years. I still had wrapping paper last year from 5 years ago. So But the point was, is I would get there at 8 a.m. I'd want to be one of the first people in. I'd run to the 50% off. I'd gather everything I possibly could. Like, yeah, it was exciting. I didn't care how I was spending it. Put it on a credit card. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if the interest was 30% because I was saving 50%. You know, I wanted it, and it was the thrill. And then I had to store it, and I never even got through all of it because I had over purchased. Of course, I gave some stuff away or whatever, but when you snap out of those things, you realize you not only have the money, the energy, you have the time, you have the peace, you have the freedom. That's what it's all about, is you are simplifying your life as you're elevating it. So you're simplifying in all areas while you're elevating it in those areas as well. So I urge you to practice some of those things if you can, and simplify and elevate. You'll find more freedom in that. You'll feel better. Your nervous system will feel better. You'll just be able to breathe a little bit. Like you won't feel so uptight or so anxious or so depressed or worried, because a lot of those things are causing it, and you can just cut those out, come up higher, make some better choices in whatever area that's pulling you down. Get around some good quality friends, and don't feel bad about it. Put up the boundaries that you need to put up, and run your race. That's it. Have a great night, everyone.